900 medals lost during this time.
Really?
Yes, 900 medals
Oh.
that would have gone to biological females that were won by biological males because of this crazy ideology over the last few years.
God.
And so think about how many girls lost out on scholarships. Think about how many girls just like felt fucked over by the system, where you've got a guy in the fucking locker room with his dick hanging out, and you're supposed to pretend that that's a woman.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and God forbid you go against the idea, and you know, a handful of people did, and you know, spent a lot of time getting pilloried for it. But
Riley Gaines.
Riley Gaines, yeah, good
and
example. Yeah,
you see
yeah.
people attacking her all the time online, and it's just wild.
I think
to
it's
see.
dying down a little bit. I think we hit that top, and then
Yeah.
I think it's coming back down to where people are saying enough is enough. Again, with the idea that, look, you want to do that, you want to pretend that you can, you know, you want to believe that a dude can have a baby, fine, you do that. I don't need to pretend with you. I'm not going to infringe on your thinking that that's the case, you know, and yes, you need some protections in place for people. Well, of course you do, right? But at a certain point, I kind of lost track. It used to be that you had gay dudes and you had lesbians, right? That was kind of it, right? You had
made
guys that like
progress.
guys and you had girls that like girls, and you're fine. You know,
We
that's-
made progress in that regard, where
Yeah.
you know, people that used to have to hide that, they don't have to hide that anymore.
Right,
It's
right.
pretty much accepted by society for the most part.
Yeah.
And then they're trying the same thing with this, and it's like, no, this is a different thing. And a lot of the gays, they don't want this in their group. They're like, no, this is a different thing. This is not your sexual orientation. You're attracted to men. This is an identity thing. This is
Yeah.
a totally different thing that you're dealing with. And then you also have to factor in, as uncomfortable as this is for people, you have to factor in perverts
Yeah.
who all of a sudden can just say I'm a woman and wear a dress, and now they can enter into women's spaces and you can't stop them. And that's real, man. That's real. That's not discounting actual trans people or discounting gay people or lesbians. It's not. But you're opening the door for fucking sexual predators.
Yeah.
People who are out of their fucking minds, man.
And you also had one of the things I never quite figured out was you also have the parent who's like, they've got a 3-year-old son who says, I'd like to play with the dolls. And then suddenly the mother's the enabler, right?
They
Or
want to
the
get them on
parent's like-
hormone blockers.
Yeah. And you're thinking, like, how about you just let the kid be a kid? You know, maybe tomorrow they want to play football. Maybe the next day they want to do interpretive dance. Maybe the following day they want to play baseball. Let the fucking kids grow up in a certain way without trying to impose,
Exactly.
you know, this bizarreness on them.
Well,
So,
they do
yeah.
it because they want that kid to be whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Well, they want him to be queer. They want him to be trans. For them, it makes them look more progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their kid like a fucking flag they plant in their lawn, and it's gross.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of these pathological monsters that happen to be parents. They're just nuts.